What's going on, Park Hoppin? It's Tugs here, and I don't have a news video for you today, but our very own Rogue Disney sent us this article yesterday, and I was just reading through it this morning, and I thought it would be interesting to talk about because I would love to hear your guys' opinions. Also, as a former cast member, I worked for Disney World in 2008. I have some thoughts about some of the things in this article. So I figured it's a little bit long, but I'll try and keep this video as short as possible. But I wanted to bring it up because there was a giant controversy, I think it was last year, where a girl uploaded a TikTok video talking about how to get a free shirt at Disney. You basically violate their dress code and they give you a voucher, and you go pick out a free shirt to cover up in, and this is usually for women, obviously. And after that went viral, Disney actually stopped doing that as a policy, and now they make you either go change completely or you have to buy a shirt at the store. So that's what really started this whole thing, and this is where this article starts off. This article is from Inside the Magic. It's called "The Growing Problem of Vulgar Offensive Shirts at the Disney Parks." It was posted a few days ago, and we were just sent it, so I thought I would kind of go over it with you guys and see what you think, because I feel like, in my opinion, this is becoming a problem, and we'll get to why. But the article here has got a couple of shirts photo. It says, the Disney dress code went viral in 2021 after TikTok user Amanda DeMeo uploaded a video to her over 800,000 followers explaining how to get a free Disney shirt of your choice. In the video, which got picked up by Fox News, DeMeo wore a cropped shirt that did not comply with Disney World's dress code and was given a voucher by cast members to get a free shirt at a Magic Kingdom merchandise location. This started a trend of guests intentionally wearing inappropriate clothing to the Disney parks to receive a free shirt because people are terrible. Anyway, while Disney does not guarantee guests a free shirt, many guests who wore clothing that went against Disney's code reported benefiting from a similar magical moment. Yeah, magic moment. It's not what magical moments are, guys. Just a fun fact. Anywho, in May of 2022, Disney appeared to change its policy. TikToker Nicole De Los Reyes wore a tie front top to Epcot and was told she'd have to buy a shirt or go to her hotel and change to enter the parks. In July, a different TikToker wore a halter top to Magic Kingdom and was told she needed to buy a shirt in order to enter the park. So basically, because the one girl posted it, everybody started going and wearing inappropriate clothing on purpose in order to get their free shirts, because we're a human race and that's what we do. We can't just get it together. You know what I mean? So, now the Disney dress code is causing conversation for a different reason. In the past year, multiple photos have surfaced of male guests wearing t-shirts with offensive or vulgar writing, leading some to question the double standards of the Disney dress code. In one instance, shared to a trashy subreddit by user Usual Elderberry, a guest wore a t-shirt featuring an AR-15 gun that says, "Nobody needs an AR-15, nobody needs a whiny little bee either, yet here you are." Though some Disney Parks fans took issue with the political message, most wondered how Disney security cast members did not stop the guests from wearing clothing with inappropriate language to a family resort. We're going to skip, because this is a very long article, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but just, it's on Inside the Magic if you want to read the whole thing, but it's a really long article. Another thing I've seen, and I know I've seen these stupid shirts are everywhere at the theme parks. They are all over the place. So the next topic they bring up is vulgar and inappropriate clothing. In other instances, there are t-shirts where vulgar. In other instances, t-shirts were vulgar in different ways. One of the most popular is a pair of matching t-shirts that read, "I wanted the D," and "I gave her the D" in Disney font. There's almost always a couple wearing these shirts at every Disney park, and many fans feel they should be banned for suggestive content. Last month, a photo of a man at Disneyland Park wearing a shirt that read, "Good sex, no stress, one boo, no X, small circle, and big checks." That's just cringy. Gained traction on Reddit. User Complex Turn posted the photo asking why such foul shirts are allowed at the Disney parks. And these are actually pretty tame. I have seen some serious, like even worse, vulgar shirts. I have. Many fans agreed, with some saying that Disney used to be stricter about shirts like this, but maybe too short-staffed or concerned about the backlash to approach guests wearing vulgar clothing. And then it goes into a couple of stories, and this is where I'm going to put in my 2 cents. So there's a couple of stories here from Reddit where people are discussing this. And this user, a moth with human hands, says, my mom loves to tell a story on how she went to Disney for her high school graduation in the mid-'80s. She wore a shirt that said, co-ed naked bar hopping, because I guess that was the funny t-shirt of the day. They stopped her 2 steps into the park to tell her to turn it inside out or go buy another shirt. I'm pretty sure with how busy it is lately, they have bigger fish to fry, or they don't get paid enough to deal with a potentially unhinged guest. A user, TK28, agreed and shared a story about visiting Disneyland around 30 years ago and said, Disney used to have a dress code. I am in my late 50s. I went to Disney as a teenager with a bunch of friends. One of them was wearing a flesh-colored tank top with a Hawaiian shirt on top of it, open. They made her button it up before we went in because she looked shirtless. Because it was a hot day, she kept unbuttoning it in the park. They kept making her button it up. When she refused, they threatened to throw us out. Though many guests haven't been caught wearing or asked to change out of offensive shirts at Disneyland Resort and Walt Disney World Resort, Disney's dress code does ban inappropriate attire. We recommend leaving shirts with vulgar language and or sexual references at home. And then I'm going to read the dress code for you guys, which is here. And it says, this is from Disney's website. So the dress code says, proper attire, including shoes and shirts, must be worn at all times. Clothing that drags on the ground is prohibited in the theme parks and water parks. Safety concerns, obviously. Clothing with multiple layers is subject to search. I have seen this happen. We reserve the right to deny admission or remove any person wearing attire that we consider inappropriate or attire that could detract from the experience of other guests. Visible tattoos that could be considered inappropriate, such as those containing objectionable language or designs, are not permitted. There are specific costume guidelines for special events as Halloween parties, Run Disney events, and while at Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, please refer to the additional policies applicable to those events. Costumes may not be worn in our theme parks, water parks, or ESPN Wide World of Sports by guests ages 14 or older. The exception, of course, that is Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. But there are rules. Masks may not be worn by any guests age 14 or older unless required for medical purposes. When worn by younger guests, masks may not cover the entire face and must provide unobstructed peripheral vision at all times with the openings that allow the eyes to be fully seen. Now, so that's their dress code. The other thing, which I'm going to scroll back up here and read this to you guys as well. There is no... So there are some fans, and I agree to a point, where they feel that political clothing should not be included. So like the AR-15 is kind of a political shirt. But Disney itself has said that you can wear political clothing to the Disney parks as long as the messaging isn't vulgar. The exception to that, however, is a political protest sort of situation. So a couple years ago, the guy went viral for bringing the MAGA flag. You can't do that. I have seen... and not just lately with Biden and Trump, but years ago, Bush and Cheney and all of them, a bazillion years ago, I've seen Disney cast members ask people to turn their shirts inside out because it was kind of like it wasn't like an I Love America shirt. It was one of those political shirts that was like, vote for this person or whatever. That's what that was. So they don't like political protesting messages. That has always been a thing that Disney has been like, look, just don't do it. But you can wear I Love America. You can wear a rainbow flag, like things like that. Just the protesting, political protesting. Now, one thing they don't mention here, and it's been years since I have gone, so I don't know if it's changed. But what I thought was interesting with the girls, the trend with the girls wearing the inappropriate clothing and getting free t-shirts, is that is only applied, and I'm not saying it's wrong because I agree. Like, you're at a theme park. Okay, you're going on a roller coaster. Let's not. Okay, cover them up. It's okay. It's all right. They do not enforce that same dress code, that vulgar, like inappropriate unbuttoned shirt and the short shorts where your booty's hanging out and stuff. They do not, or didn't used to, and I don't know anymore, of course, because I have not been in years. There's a weekend in Disneyland, California. It's Pride weekend. It's also known as Gay Days, where it's an entire weekend where the Pride flag takes over, and they have like giant tour groups and their flags, and Disneyland actually throws a specific, like, it's put on by Disney. They throw a specific Pride parade and like all this stuff. And the clothing that I have seen, oh my God. It's like a normal pride parade that we've all seen the images of, like the leather and the short shorts and the booties and the open vests and all that. They wear those same things to Disney. Not everybody, but a good amount of people. And they don't get told nothing. They don't get told to cover up. They don't get told to go change. They don't get told. It's kind of like a weird free-for-all. So there is a double standard. When I worked for Disney in 2008, it was very specific, much like these stories that I read down here at the bottom. Like, you had to either turn your shirts out, you had to go buy a new one, you had to leave completely. And these Vulgar shirts here, I want the D, she wants the D, we've seen them. That was not a thing in 2008. For me, I feel like Disney absolutely does need to start adhering more to their dress code. You're at a theme park with kids. Like, you don't need to be wearing that kind of stuff. And this goes for everybody. This is just my opinion. The shirts have gotten worse and worse and worse and worse over the last, probably 10 years especially. And that's pushing it, maybe even more recent. They've gotten so bad, and it's just tacky. This is tacky to me. You look tacky. This shirt is cringe. It's so cringy. Wear a plain one. It's fine. I do think that I agree with some of the comments on here that if you're going to enforce one rule, you should probably enforce all the others. The problem is that people, as we have seen with the fights in the parks and everything like that, it's just gotten so chaotic. But I think that there's a time and the place for the shirts that you decide to wear, and going to a theme park where there are children and there are maybe people who don't think the same way you do or have your same beliefs, like, maybe we just tone it down a little. Just calm down. Wear the Mickey Mouse t-shirt. You're gonna be fine. But yeah, so I saw this article and I just thought it was very interesting. Because every time I see this, especially, I get secondhand embarrassment. These are not cute. I'm sorry, but they're not. They're not cute. They're not funny. It's just, I don't know. Anyway, so that's the article I have for you today. Just no breaking news or anything. I just thought that this would be an interesting topic for us all to discuss. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. You think maybe there should be more of a line? You think maybe we should go back to the old days of enforcing the dress code? Because personally, I think so, because it's honestly gotten out of hand. But then again, they've also completely, basically wiped out their own dress code for their employees. So if you're not going to make your employees hold to a dress code, then why should you make your guests? Just throwing that out there. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will catch you all later.